All right. It's week 2, guys, and week 2 is probably one of the most important weeks when somebody who's fell off the wagon or train for as long as I have on the anything creative. I say for me it's writing. For other people, I would say it's it could be painting, it could be tattoo work. It's creative stuff like that. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. But luckily for me, I have the good Lord bless me with a really rare personality type and a basically decent ability to write. And I feel like I got one good American novel in me. So I'm going to get it out there as best I can. I just don't know how to get it out there, but uh, it's time for me to do that. So I'm just going to go about it as best I can and try to drum up some steam for it. But gosh, oh, that one took me 14 years to write that one book. But I mean, it's writers vary a lot, guys. Some, you take like Stephen King or somebody like that, where they can pump out an awesome book, a really great narrative in like what 2 weeks, a week. I mean, amazing. I'm in shock and awe. It's great stuff. You take somebody else like R.R. Martin there with Lord of the, or not the, you know what I'm saying, Game of Thrones. It's took him like 30 years to write 7 books, man. Or what um, Baldwin wrote a good handful of books, 5 or 6, but he's really only known for about 2 of them. But those 2 books were really something for their time, and they were really influential for their time. So I'm just trying to do my thing for my area and my time. But I don't, with my creative processes, I don't know about you guys, but I don't write from a place of hate. I'll write about some wild stuff. I'll write about anything, but I never from a place of hate. It's just not how I get down creatively. But still, though, I'll be honest. Like a week and a half ago, um, you could describe it however you like, but um, you could say I had an epiphany, or you could say I removed the speck from my eye, or you could say I got my muse back and I got rid of the writer's block, or I'm watching 2 cats run around, or but you could say I actually did that whole Jungian integration of the shadow, and because there's an emotional shedding with that. If you get into that existential psychology, which I do, I enjoy that. I study quite a bit of it. But like anything, I'm a layman at best, and there's better people to talk about that. That's the same reason I'm not going to do politics or religion. They are people who are better at that. I can speak my common general feelings, but they're going to be pretty milk toast, guys. Pretty bland kind of stuff. Like I can't tell you who to vote for, and that's not on me. I can't, in a respectful way, tell you which guy you should check the box for. Um, I would say that I think every American should vote because somebody somewhere gave up quite a bit for you to be able to do that, and that's the least you can do. um, but that's it. That's the only real view I got politically, to be honest. I'm not a very political person. Um, I am like everybody else in the way like social media and the memes and the news and that kind of the manipulation and that kind of saccharine aspect that social media kind of magnifies. That's what I'm trying to offset. That just that kind of fakery. I mean, and I'm not saying that people who talk about other things are fake. I'm just saying Facebook or Twitter, whatever, it takes a little bit of a saccharine aspect that society does have, but it's not bad. I mean, it's not like I don't mean it bad either, but I'm just saying that it's there. But for some people, it magnifies that in such a way that I just don't think they could cope, man. And I don't I don't know. Um, I don't know why half people do half of what they do. I just know why I do what I do. And basically, as far as it goes, I'm as a writer, the only reason I'm able to write right now is because the good Lord blessed me, and I'm at a decent place. But that's because I'm, um, just trying to keep it simple, man. That's it. Just keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method. It works in writing. It's not a bad mantra for living. If you really need a lot of advice and guidance, I'd say read your Bible. In all honesty, don't listen to anybody on the internet. If you listen to a guy doing, "Hey, bro, what's up? This is what's," no, don't do that. Just read your Bible, okay? We adults, we can do that. But also too, if that's not your thing, that's not your flavor, you know what? That's fine by me. I respect it. It's cool. I've messed up a whole lot, and I had to get to where I was at to be able to, 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 um, to really appreciate it. Because if I sat down and talk about it, I mean, I'll tell you why I believe in the Lord. But that's not what this conversation's about. And I'm not one of those guys who does the debates or whatever. I'm just a writer. But don't take. I don't want it to be. I don't want to come off like present as a Christian writer, and then you read this first novel and be like, Daniel, what is this? Just no, I'm not a Christian writer. I'm just someone who simply wants to be a good writer, and then in the foundation of that somewhere is someone who just wants to be a good person, for me, that journey includes a visit to the church. It's not for some other folks. That's fine. I'm sure there's better people that can tell you the good news in a lot better ways than I can. But I can tell you that I was stubborn, and this horse got led to water, but he wouldn't drink. That's fine. It's sometimes you just need somebody to say, "Hey, man, I get it. It's cool. I respect it, man. It's all right." And if they're curious, or if they see something, if you're living in a kind of Zen kind of way, they'll ask about it. Then that's when you tell it. But I'm not, like I said, that's why I don't want to talk about religion. I'm not the guy for that. But if I could talk about some of the hard stuff I've been through, or some of the things I lost, and it helps somebody from doing something regrettable, then I'm fine with that. I can use my inability to hide my weaknesses, and I, my general kind of, it's odd, but I've always, and I mean this in the best of ways, guys, but I've never really cared what folks thought of me. You know what I mean? I think I do come across as a likable guy, but it's just in the way that I'm an honest jackass. And that's really what it is at the end of the day. I'm just an honest jackass. And, honestly, the Lord just showed me how I'd been just complicating things, and just simply being in my own way. And now that I've got out of my own way, I feel like in my worldview or point of view, that's why I'm able to write now, and be able to keep it going. Because usually with some writers, especially at this age, you'll have these, what I call little spurts, where you'll write for like a week, 3 days. Oh, this is the thing. This is going to be the jam, man. I'm writing the shit. Pardon my French. That's why I say I'm not a good, I want to be a good writer. I do try to quit cussing. I really am working on that. But I'm on day 10. I got 9 days in with no cigarettes. This is day 10, so I'm working on that. So, baby steps, but I am working on the cussing, because, man, I live in a good community. It's a good society where I'm at, and it's full of good people. And they don't need to be dealing with some little half-cocked dude not watching his mouth, just blah 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 blah, with head all in la la land. That's not respectful for them. But I tell you though, I'm kind of awesome. I'll just be honest with you. My buddies, the guys that know me, I just tell you, you know what's up. Hey, it's your boy. You know how awesome I be. Hey, I'm the coolest, right? You know it. That's why you're gonna buy my book here in 6 months when it's for sale for $19.99. It's called I Hate Your Guts. I want you to check it out. But all jokes aside, a lot of guys do this. A lot of writers, they like Bukowski said, they get famous in their 20s and stuff, and they miss out on the manure pile. And I would have never understood that statement 20 years ago, but I get it now. That's just like that book that took me 14 years to write. It wouldn't have been worth publishing 14 years ago, but it is now. But even if it's not the way I think it will, and it doesn't sell, and I'm just trying to drum up engagement for nothing, that's fine. Because if I still at the end of the day talk about some real human stuff, and it keeps somebody from putting a needle in their arm again, or if it keeps them from putting a freaking gun in their mouth, or keeps them from thinking they have to look like somebody in a magazine, just whatever. People have different hurdles to jump, and Lord knows I had mine, and some of them I don't even know how I got over. I don't even think I did get over them. I think I just kind of tripped through them and kind of stumbled. But that's the whole thing, though. But my thing is, I'm not here to judge, and I ain't going to judge anybody for nothing. I'm not. I can judge myself, and I tell you, it's a long road to improvement. And the only reason I'm even able to say that is because, honestly, I'm at a good place, man. I mean, some writers, they write better when their processes being such that for what they're writing, because I think anger is a useful emotion. It'll get stuff done, but it burns out quick. It's not sustainable. Happiness isn't a useful emotion. It burns out quick too. It's not really sustainable. But now satisfaction is, and I'm pretty satisfied with where I'm at. I got a lot of good things going for me, and that's fellas got to appreciate that, because I can wake up, or anybody I love, or anyone can wake up and you can wake up and not be here in the morning. So you just gotta enjoy the day as best you can. And that's all I'm really getting at. And I'm not here to say much more than that. I just enjoy riding. I can't wait to get some more stuff going. I'm going to have some more things where I narrate to my big rock buddy. This is my big rock. I call him Rocky. His name is Rocky, the big rock. See how creative I am? Oh boy, dude, that's that fire, boy. You spitting it, son. But nah, seriously, my dog's cutting a rusty up here. Let me go see what's going on. But anyway, guys, that's basically it. Journal 2, it's hard to keep the momentum going when you write or creative things like that. So, Jasper! So just try to keep that going. And then if you could keep it into week 3, you probably got it. You know what I mean? But we'll talk about that next week. No, there's nobody up here. But we'll talk about that next week when it's the week 3 Monday journal. Because I like to get them out of the way on Monday. Monday's a rough day. Where in the hell is that dog? All right, peace out, guys.